Hey guys, and welcome back. This week we're going to be looking at the shrine, and I can already tell you it's a pretty decent shrine, looking at Rancor, Adrenaline, Unnerving Presence, and Decisive Strike. So here is what I'm going to be telling you, right? This first perk is a Spirit Teachable, unlocked at level 40. It allows you to Mori your Obsession at the end of the game. When all generators are finished and the exit gates are powered, you can then down your Obsession in one hit and Mori them. It's kind of like Noed for one person, and that one person can be Moried as well, regardless of whether they've been hooked or not. The new killer just came out as well today. His name is the Oni, and he has a sword or a katana and a big hammer. Okay, basically, the thing about this new killer is he comes with three interesting perks. One called Nemesis. What does Nemesis do? It allows you, basically, when somebody pallet stuns you, they become your obsession. Therefore, it is perfect hand in hand with a perk like Play With Your Food, because the time you're pallet stunned and you recover, you've entered Chase. Therefore, you're going to build a stack of Play With Your Food. So it's a devastating combo with Play With Your Food. It's going to allow you to catch really good loopers, moving at 120% movement speed rather than 115. I personally will be using it on my Leatherface. There are ways also to use it on Legion and be devastating. So what does Nemesis do? Nemesis isn't on the shrine, but let me explain it. Basically, you become undetectable by the survivor who is your obsession, who pallet stuns you. Okay, so what does that mean? If Legion hits you with his dagger, his special ability, basically you are outside of Chase based on the fact that you are undetectable. So he can kind of reset he can kind of kill you like old Legion would. This being said, that isn't in the shrine this week, so we're here to talk about what is in the shrine. Okay, so we got Rancor. It allows you to Mori your Obsession when the exit gates are powered and down them in one hit. It's not really a kind of perk that I would like to use. I like to generally 4K without the exit gates being powered, so I kind of steer away from perks like Fired Up, things that reward me for people doing gens. Fired Up, Bitter Murmur, Noed, Remember Me, Blood Warden, that kind of... It's not really it. You should be playing to your strengths, your mid to your late game, or even your early game, depending on the killer you're playing at. So that's generally what you should be looking for. Last end game is kind of like a last stand to try and scoop up one or two kills if everybody's about to escape from you, in my opinion. But then again, it all comes down to how you play the map, or what map you're on, how good the survivors are, and vice versa. So Rancor, a little hidden gem about this perk I didn't mention. The reason I would run this perk is not because of the end game. So basically, when they power the exits, you can down your Obsession in one hit, and you can Mori him. But every time they power a generator, every survivor on the map will leave a scream bubble above their head, much like a Doctor's Madness tear up. The only way to counter that is running Calm Spirits or being inside a locker. So when somebody does a generator, you will be able to know where all four survivors are. So if Jeff's on the hook, Meg's on the ground, and you're chasing Nia, and the other girl finishes a Jenny, well, you know where everybody is. But if Jeff's on the hook, you just down Megan and somebody finishes a Jenny to the right-hand side and you don't have discordance, you still know if there's one or two people there based on how many screen bubbles you see. So you can use that information. However, it does reward you for losing a generator, but that one Jenny can allow you to snowball very, very well. Everybody will not be able to see you while they scream. They won't know they screamed, they won't know they have Rancor, but the Obsession will. The Obsession gets to see the killer's aura for a period of time, just like that. So you're going to be able to see, for 5 seconds, the Obsession can see your aura as the killer. If he's not the Obsession, then he can't see it, so keep that in mind. If he is affected by a blindness perk, like Third Seal, then he cannot see you, but you still get the scream notification from him. So that is a little way to cheeky get Rancor to work now and then. Moving on to the next perk, this is called Adrenaline. Now, what does Adrenaline do? Adrenaline allows you to heal one state when the exit gates are powered. So if I'm on the ground, slugged, which is what they call, and my teammate finishes a Jenny, I get up and I run. I run at 150% movement speed for 5 seconds. The same speed as if you just got hit by the killer, except instead of for 2 seconds, it's for 5 seconds. It heals one stage. So if I'm hurt, I will then go to healthy. If I'm healthy, I'll just get the speed boost. If I'm already exhausted from whatever I just used, life, balance landing, it still activates. So I can balance landing into an Adrenaline and then run for 7 seconds at an incredible speed of 150% movement speed. But that comes down to your teammates timing it very, very well. Something else to point out about Adrenaline, if you're on the hook at the end of the game, and the killer and somebody saves you, you get Adrenaline. You're 100% health, so you don't have to worry about your teammate using borrowed time. That being said, you should be able to body block a hit based on who the killer is to save your teammate if the killer was camping as well. I do not recommend buying Adrenaline out of the shrine. The reason I don't recommend buying it is because it is one of the survivors you should be leveling at the start of the game. The way I say to a new player is, if you're brand new to Dead by Daylight, you level up Megan or you level up Nia. Megan comes with Quick and Quiet, she comes with Sprint Burst and Adrenaline, as you can see. Very, very good teachables. Only get the character to level 15 to understand if you like the playstyle. Use their 3 teachable perks, see what you like, right? The reason I recommend Megan is because she's about running from the killer. She'll teach you how to run and evade the killer, because you're not always going to be able to hide. However, if you do resort to the hiding kind of gameplay, I recommend leveling Nia. Nia's going to become equipped with Urban Evasion, Balanced Landing, and Streetwise. Therefore, Urban Evasion allows you to hide and crouch walk at 100% walking speed. Not running, but walking speed. So it can be pretty damn good. Also, depending on who you liked, if you enjoyed the playstyle, I recommend leveling into Jake after that for Iron Will, based on whether you want to hide or whether you want to run and take unique pathing. But that is for an educational video based on loops, not on a video based on the shrine. Moving on to the next perk, we have Unnerving Presence. Unnerving Presence is a level 30 teachable perk unlocked by the Trapper. Basically, it makes skill checks harder to do, and it makes them trigger more likely. This is a double-edged sword. Some people are very good at landing skill checks, and if you make skill checks trigger more often, they're going to be landing more. If you're Freddy Krueger and there's skill checks more often, people are going to be waking up through skill checks rather than waking up through the alarm clocks. So just be very careful. I do not like this perk. I personally prefer Overwhelming Presence, which is a Doctor teachable. If you do see somebody running Unnerving, it's generally an Unnerving with a Distressing, with double calm add-ons on a Doctor on the game map. That way he has like a 48 meter heartbeat and it covers majority of the board, making the skill checks really hard to do alongside Ruin. So personally, would I get that? No, it is not a DLC perk. You should level up the Trapper maybe if you want to play a fun killer. He's a bit of a hit and miss depending on how good you understand the maps. Once you know the map a little bit better, he's going to be a bit more of a stronger killer for you. He still is not anywhere near the top of the food chain, but all in all, it's an okay perk. It's below average in my opinion. I'd give it about a 3 out of 10, followed by Adrenaline. This is a perk I'm always constantly running. I'll give it anywhere between a 9 and an 8 out of 10. Rancor, it's about a 4 out of 10 if I'm going to tell you the truth, but if you use it the way that I said to understand people's speech bubbles rather than waiting for the end of the game, I guess I can give it a 6. And now we're going to go to a perk I'd probably give a 7 out of 10. This is called Decisive Strike, also referred to as Defensive Strike. Basically, if the killer tunnels you off hook. So basically, I get downed by the killer, he puts me on the hook, then Jeff comes and saves me. If the killer continues to chase me and down me, and pick me up, I have to land a skill check, and it stuns the killer for 5 seconds, and then I get to run into the distance. So very, very powerful. You can force it upon the killer by jumping in a locker, slow vaulting a pallet. You know, if the killer walks up behind you while slow vaulting, he'll grab you if you're injured. You know, there's a lot of ways to make it work. It works hand in hand with a couple of combos, such as a perk called Head On, which is a Jane teachable perk unlocked at level 40. It allows you to jump out of a locker and stun a killer, so you can actually jump into the locker, have the killer pull you out, Decisive Strike, and jump back in the locker. It only takes 4 seconds to activate Head On, to then jump back out and stun him again. So you can chain stun the killer. It could be absolutely devastating. But that being said, it also works with another perk called Inner Strength, which is a Nancy perk. And a Strength is a Nancy perk unlocked at level 40 as well, I believe. Basically, when you go inside a locker, once you're in a locker for 6 seconds, you heal up. So if you're actually sitting in a locker and a killer's baiting out your DS, you're full healed, you'll jump out, you'll hit him with a good old Head On, and then you'll run into the distance and be able to DS. Goes hand in hand, obviously, with Iron Will as your final perk. Alternatively, you could be running Decisive Strike if you weren't, not Decisive, you could be running Dead Hard if you weren't confident with your Head On ability. Anyways, guys, that is going to be all for this week's Shrine. Would I buy anything out of it? The only two things I'll be looking at is I would buy Decisive Strike. It is one of the most overpowered perks in the game when used correctly by survivors. I'd probably buy that, and I would also look at maybe getting Rancor. I would not buy Adrenaline because I would level Megan up first, and I would not buy Unnerving as I don't feel it is good value for the blood points or for the perk in general. Trapper teachable, he has brutal strength and agitation, easily outweighs this teachable being Unnerving Presence. Alrighty guys, that's going to be all for this week's Shrine. Don't hesitate to hit the follow button or the subscribe, and pop over to the live stream as well over here at Twitch. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the fog. Take care. Thank you.